Well, welcome back to the channel, where, as you've seen in the last video I posted, we built these Bad Man Pajamas. These are some Victory Rip XVs that we put together. We'll do a quick recap in case you missed last week's video, but we got some Easton. These are like their precision 100 grain field point tips, followed by a Victory stainless steel insert. And it's kind of like a collar. It kind of cups over the end of the arrow. It's not just flush with the end of the carbon, so it should make it a little bit stronger, should keep it from splitting apart. It's not going to be quite as strong as a full outsert collar, which I might experiment with in the future, but I just figured because we were doing Victory arrows, we'll do the Victory tips too. Like I said, these are the Victory Rip XV shafts, which in my opinion are probably the best based arrow shaft that you can start with. We'll go over that in just a second. We have some Bohning red wraps in the back of there, along with some DCA Mini Sabres. And then these are just the standard knocks that come with the Victory arrows. I want a quick recap. This whole setup here is 371 grains as it sits with the wrap and everything. Now, why I say that these Victory Rip XV arrows are the best base arrow shaft to start off of is because these things have the lowest GPI on the market. I run a 350 spine because I only shoot 65 pounds because it's easy and light pull back. With these 371 grain shafts, I am achieving about 310 to 312 feet per second, which is screaming fast. I mean, I know there's bows out there that shoot faster. I really want a PSC Sicario just to tinker with because I think it'd be fun. But anyway, these being such a light arrow shaft allows you to place the weight where you want it. Now, I have a total of 160 grains right up here at the tip. Like I said, 100 grain tip, 60 grain insert. That gives me a pretty good FOC where the arrow balances out about there, about a third of the way down the shaft. Oh, almost forgot too. We ran a 5-degree left helical. So even though we're running some really teeny little vanes in the back here, this thing spins up super fast. And in theory, it should be super stable. In today's video, I want to compare these to these. These are what I've been running for the last year. These are Easton's 6.5 Hunters. These are like their, we'll say budget arrow. The main test I want to do today is I want to compare these vanes. So these are the Bohning Bully vanes. And from what I understand, they're pretty much just a Bohning Blazer, just maybe revamped a little bit. Don't know the differences on there. I think they're about the same. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, Bowen's been making the Blazer vanes for probably 10 to 15, maybe even 20 years. I know they're quite old. But the biggest thing I noticed so far going from this to this is how much quieter the new setup is than these guys. I couldn't help myself. The other day I went out and I shot a few arrows, even though it was maybe 10 degrees and with a wind chill, it was probably 0 outside. I'll throw that footage in right here.
Ah, a little crooked. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it is really freaking cold. I had to snow blow a strip in the yard. We are at 22 yards right here. It is 15 degrees out. We're gonna just zero it at 20 and see how the new arrow flight. Well, how the new arrows fly. More like it. All right, first shot in the cold. Definitely quieter. That one looks pretty good. Woo-hoo-hoo! Wind is picking up. They definitely sound quieter. They have like a weird, like, they're not like loud screaming like those Blazer vanes in the last ones were. They have like a little vibration noise going through the air. Hopefully that comes across on camera. I punched that trigger. I punched the shit out of the trigger on that one. It is cold out here. All right, let's go see what we got. Oh no, it didn't get it. This stupid camera, for some reason after it updated, now it does this goofy thing. Let's see here. This one felt like it broke pretty good. This one broke pretty decent. You see, we're a little high. This one I punched the crap out of. The wind hit me, and it's cold out. So let's try again. We're going to back up a little bit. We're at least not super far off, but I can go back it up to over there. It should put us about 30 yards, and then we'll see how it does. How cold my phalanges are. I can't really feel my thumb on the barrel at all as we're pulling through the shot. So I'm gonna go pull those and then we'll see how it sounds.
Now, I went out and I filmed that real quick because just shooting these new setups inside, they sounded quieter, but like I couldn't prove it and I couldn't really fully, you know, I'm only shooting 10 yards indoors, and I did shoot them a little bit at the shop at like 20 yards indoors, but you're in a building and that really muffles all the sound, and it's not the same as shooting it outside. So I did a little quick test outside and noticed that it was incredible. These things really do sound quieter flying through the air, but my silly self, I failed to shoot the old setup at all, so I have nothing to compare it to. I want to today go out and I want to shoot these guys back to back with these guys, because I really think that the new setup with these Mini Sabres are a lot quieter than these guys. I've seen a lot of people shoot the Blazer and the Bully vanes, and as James from Bow Disciples would say, these things are loud as a bastard. I want to directly test them back to back and see if we can see what it sounds like, in the difference. We also need to build a new sight tape on the bow. Not the greatest weather to build a sight tape, but I think we could probably do something. It's, we're gonna have to re-sight in the spring when it's warm outside, because air temperatures and variances and all that science stuff is gonna make a difference. How much of a difference? I don't know, but yeah, we need to throw a blank sight tape on the bow, and it'd be kind of fun too to compare the sight tape that I was running with these arrows versus these. My old setup, I believe these Easton 6.5s came out to about 415 grains, I want to say. So, I mean, we're dropping about 30 grains going to the new arrow. So, curious to see, how much of a difference does that really make? Am I going down one number in sight tapes, or am I going down 5? I don't know. We're going to find out, though. And anyone out there curious, I am running the Excel driver. You can see, we got this guy right here. Bridge lock, yada, yada, yada. Really big fan of this sight. I was running a Spot Hog before, and I was not a fan of how the sight tape was on a wheel versus on the driver here. If it'll focus on that guy right there, we got our sight tape, and it's just nice and flat. These are metal sight tapes, so they're easy to swap back and forth. So as someone that likes to tinker with things a lot, it makes it very easy to tinker and just kind of move things around.
So I did a quick sight tape on the bow, and boy, oh boy, are these new Rip XVs cooking. I'm gonna have to remember, I want to shoot one of the DCAs, and then I want to shoot one of the Bully vanes and like go back and forth, and we'll see if we can hear the sounds. It's gonna be a little strange. I don't know if it's gonna come across on camera, because the mics in the cameras really try to make quiet things louder and loud things quieter. So I have a feeling that it's probably gonna make the sound level the same, but I'm curious if they sound differently. I think that's gonna be the real test. I really hope I don't hit my camera, but I don't know, let's go do this. I think this is gonna turn out cool. It's all in the name of science, baby. So test number 1, I have the camera facing at the target. So in theory, it should pick up the sound of the arrow past the camera, and not the sound of the bow going off. 37 yards. One of the new Rip XVs with a DCA Mini Sabres. We're gonna see if we can get a sound clip of this, and then we will shoot one of the Bohning Bully vanes and see if we can get a sound of that. All right, next up, let's do a Bully vane, and let's see how this sounds going through the air. And I didn't think about it now, but the snow really should help dampen all of the extra noise going on. Just, it'll also be interesting to see, maybe the bow's louder or quieter depending on which arrow we're shooting, but that's why we're doing this all in the name of science. Definitely louder. Definitely louder. All right, we're going back. To me in person, the Bully vanes really kind of sound like they're screaming all the way down to the target, versus the DCA Minis, they're not like loud, they make noise, but it sounds like they're vibrating the whole time. It's really hard to explain. Bully vane numero 2. The last Bully vane, 40 yards with the microphone halfway to the target. I really hope I don't hit my camera in this. So next up, we have the camera sitting on top of the target looking at us. So this should hopefully catch the sound of the arrows coming directly at them and not just passing over. I don't know. It might turn out cool. Very important, I remember to dial back and forth on this shots, because if I don't, I will probably stick a DCA straight through my little Insta360 down there. First shot. First shot with the bully vane with the camera all the way down on the target. Last shot of the DCA hybrids. Last shot. Oh, I hit an arrow. I heard that.
What a shame. It's all right. We can build more. I'm going to go check over the footage, and we'll talk about the results here in just a minute.
Well. Were those not some interesting results? I told you that these things sounded like they were screaming compared to these guys here. I truly am blown away with how much quieter these DCA vanes really are. And it's got me wondering now, does it have anything to do with the helical that are on these vanes? I'm almost wondering if we should fletch up the same arrow with multiple different fletchings, but run the same helical. That way they'll be the same, the arrow will be the same weight, they'll be flying the same speed, they'll have the same spin. Everything should be the same except for just the fletchings. Because it really, in my mind, you could have the best fletching in the world, steer the broadhead the absolute best, but if it makes a ton of noise on the way down target, you're just gonna alert the animal. You can clearly hear the arrow on the shot where the camera was on the target and we were shooting directly at it. Like when these bully vanes left the bow, you could hear them the whole way coming to it. And that was about 40, I think 45 yards is what we were shooting. Maybe that's a test we should do. I see a lot of people test, fletchings for drag and parachuting and lift and accuracy, but really, if it's screaming super loud, don't you think that should be quite important? Because I've never seen anybody test vanes specifically just for sound. I wish it would come across on camera. Unfortunately, like I said, the cameras kind of make quiet things louder and loud things quieter. So it really kind of equalizes the sound levels of them going through the air. But I'm blown away with the fact that you can actually hear the difference in tone of them going through. You can audibly hear on camera how much quieter these guys are than those old Bohning vanes there. So let me know what you guys think. Should we continue this test? Because I think it'd be intriguing. But anyway, just want to say thanks for watching the video, guys. If you stuck around till the end, that's awesome. Leave a comment, questions, concerns. I'd love to do more tests down the road. Just I got to justify it. I got to justify taking the time to do all of that. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, because I want to see it too. So I don't know. Anyway, till next time. Peace out.